We are now 4 days away from Superman and the true beginning of the DCU. And today I wanted to talk about the man himself who is spearheading this film and this new era as a whole, James Gunn himself. And whether you love or hate him, it's pretty safe to say that he is the best thing to happen to the brand, probably since Matt Reeves. Because James Gunn really does have a vision, he has a plan, and he has a direction. And oh man, as DC fans, did we need that very badly. The franchise was just in a downwards spiral before the Warner Bros. Discovery merger. The Flash, Black Adam, Shazam, Aquaman, and Blue Beetle all flopped, and it didn't seem like it was going to get any better. We were just going to have Michael Keaton as Batman and Supergirl replace Superman as a whole. It just was a complete mess. It was an absolute circus there, and it just didn't seem like it was going to get any better. We needed to absolutely sweep the house clean and start brand new and just completely start from scratch. And that's when James Gunn and Peter Safran came in. And personally, I remember when this news was announced, I was just leaving my college class, my first year of college. I just had gotten into my car and I got the notification on Twitter. And I was just so ecstatic. I was so excited, and for so many reasons, which is why we're here today to talk about it. And the first one being is that James Gunn is a filmmaker first. He may now be an executive, but he is a filmmaker above all, which gives him this unique perspective compared to other executives for other studios like Kevin Feige, for example. And this lens of a filmmaker, for me personally, comforts me because he truly does understand what his directors are going through. And the biggest example is Matt Reeves. We all know Matt Reeves has been going through a lot of things over the past year, which stalled development on the Batman Part 2 script and caused a delay as well. But with James Gunn as the CEO, he knows what goes into writing screenplays and how long they can take. And throughout all of this, he defended Matt Reeves time and time again and allowed him to take his time and turn his script in. And now that it's actually turned in, we can expect a masterpiece with all the time that James Gunn provided for Matt Reeves, and they are right on schedule. And honestly, if this was the old Warner Bros. Or Warner Bros. In general, they probably would have just gotten another writer to help Matt Reeves finish the script, or just get a new director entirely, as we have seen before in 2017. I'm not going to talk about that too much. And the second reason being is that the guy is a nerd. He's a nerd. He loves comic books and these characters even before he became a filmmaker. And a lot of filmmakers who have done comic book movies don't necessarily love comic books and are directors before all of that. Before comic books, they're filmmakers. But James Gunn is a fan before. So knowing that these characters are in the hands of somebody who loves them just as much as we do makes me so happy. And he obviously knows what he's doing and will adapt these characters and these stories so faithfully, as we're seeing with Superman. And just knowing comics and countless stories, it gives him the ability to plan things out and build this world, which I cannot wait to see done. So like I said, he is a nerd before everything. He grew up reading comics even before these movies were a major part of our culture. He knows these comics, and I think that is so essential to somebody who's running this. You need somebody who's passionate about it and just loves the source material. And the fact that he's a CEO allows him to solely focus on creative, while Peter Safran focuses on the business side as co-CEOs. And Safran kind of deals with all the financial duties of the studio as its own separate division, which is just awesome. And I'd love to see that be done more often, the co-CEO thing, because I think having co-CEOs with one focusing on creative while the other kind of focuses on business is just so smart, so that the creative guy doesn't get burnt out having to do the business side of stuff as well. And speaking of the CEOs, it's been 31 months since this video and since they were appointed to lead the studio, and man, I just gotta hand it to them. What they have done so far is really impressive, and also keep in mind that they lost about 5 months of writing time due to the writer's strike, so it's really been about 26 months of a window to work with. And in those 26 months, James Gunn has wrote and directed Creature Commandos, Peacemaker Season 2, and of course Superman, and he's already in the process of writing his next project while mapping out the brand new universe through it all. And with Peacemaker Season 2 releasing in August, Supergirl is filming and now in post production. Lanterns is set to wrap filming this month, and Clayface is casting and also in pre production. They're doing so much, and I really just am I'm loving what I'm seeing. They're so locked in. We've seen so many memes before of DC having in plans. I'm looking at you, Stephen Amell, but not getting stuff done. They're getting stuff done now, which is just so awesome to see because it really builds that trust again, in my opinion, as fans. And they're getting these things done with the ideal of prioritizing this creative freedom and creative vision for these filmmakers. And that's been evident. As we've seen so far, we're getting a whole Supergirl movie based off the script that Anna wrote. It's a brilliant screenplay according to James Gunn, and same thing with Mike Flanagan's Clayface script. These are two projects that were not initially the Gods and Monsters slate, but just because they were so good, they went ahead and greenlit them right then and there. The crew for Lanterns are doing this true detective type story. We already know about Matt Reeves and his universe. So these talented people have the free reign to cook up without restrictions, as we see in other studios, for example. And just this week, also, James Gunn has stated that there's projects in the works with other countries, such as Brazil, South Korea, and Japan, which means they're going to get some creatives from those countries to develop shows and movies for DC, which to me is just so cool. And it gets me so excited for the future. And it just feels so right. It just feels like we're in the right timeline, is the best way I can describe it, because it's been so freaking frustrating being a DC fan when it comes to live action universes, because they truly have not touched the surface at all of what they're capable of doing. This week, David Cornsweet said that he wants his Superman to be this uncle figure to Nightwing, interact with Wonder Woman, and just all this basic stuff. And even Nicholas Holt said that he wants his Lex to interact with the Joker. And like I said, these are just such simple plot points in just regular DC stories, so it's not even like they're asking much. We really haven't seen anything at all. So I am just personally so happy that these characters are back on the right track with the proper leadership and guidance. And it's James Gunn who's helping save this franchise from the circus show that it was in for the past decade plus. And I'm also very grateful also that Warner Bros cannot touch these characters, as DC Studios is its own separate thing. Even James Gunn said that the Warner Bros logo will not be in the intro to DC Studios films, which is crazy to me. You really only see that for like movies, how it doesn't have the Disney logo in the introduction, which is just so cool to me, because I can really tell that James Gunn's requirement for this job was that it had to be on his own terms and his own conditions. He was gonna go out on his own terms if this thing didn't go. Warner Bros. Could not interfere, because that's what got us into this mess to begin with, their interference with the DCEU and all that. But this, of course, begins next week with Superman. James Gunn has to kick off this new universe with a bang. He has to deliver a good film so that we can have smooth sailing from now on. And if he's able to deliver a good film, then he's able to unravel his vision and his plan for the franchise. And looking at the projections at the moment, looks like we're going to be just fine, which I'm just so happy. We've been stressing so much over the past 7 months, really 2 years, about this Superman movie. But again, it's just so relieving to have somebody who knows what he's doing as CEO. Do I agree with every single decision he's made or he's going to make? No, he's not perfect. But in my opinion, he's made a lot of great choices so far, and he has my full support. And I cannot wait to see this new DC lead a brand new generation of fans into the future. I think to me, it's insane how DC has continuously messed up for a decade plus, but all of a sudden they're back in this race just because of the state of superhero movies. Marvel kind of their foot up off the gas with a lot of stuff that they put out didn't really live to a lot of people's expectations, and all of a sudden DC out of nowhere has the opportunity to compete right in with Fantastic Four and Superman. So I'm just so excited, guys. I cannot wait to see the movie in just 4 days from now. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys take care, and I will see you all very soon.